We welcome you back to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals have the football as we rejoin the action in quarter number 2. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So here are the Saints to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Right back to Brown. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Harold Landry able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself. yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
McPherson's kick is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Hands it off out of the gun. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Hill to return it. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Running here is Taysom Hill. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That time the right... guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. This time Jackson will throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hill. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They run run once more with Taylor. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 42 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Hey, man, let's play our game.
Now that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. And that'll be caught by Tony. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Again, Fields. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To the air again, Fields. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Here's Fields. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And that will be incomplete as well. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. And now here's a carry heading left. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
77 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Uses the stiff arm. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll make it second down. Fields. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. On the option right is Jackson. On the option to give to Taylor here. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll try and run for it with Brown. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal. Foul penalties aren't going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Jackson going to hold on to this. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Going deep downfield for Ross.
And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and the Bengals will get the football back. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. He's going to let it fly.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.